it's really cold and it's kind of raining, and I might sound a little weird because I can't hear. But anyways, we had like a really hectic trip. It was like a nightmare, literally. So we wanted to explain it to you because everybody was kind of asking us already what happened. Everybody's like, what do you mean? What happened? So we're gonna explain it to you guys. So yeah, let's get into the video.
Hey, yeah, I know they always talk about us. Haters out here really doing too much. Talk too much, online too much.
Okay, so basically, as you can tell, we're in Hawaii. So to get to Hawaii, we have to go on a flight. And yesterday, we were up at like, what time did we get up? It was like 6 a.m. or something that we had gotten up. But we got up at like 6 a.m. and we like just got ourselves up, and we had stayed at a hotel near the airport. And so then we went to the airport, and it was like, what time was it? So we got there, it was like, what time? 8, yeah. And so anyways, we were boarding. Everything was fine. Everything was perfect. We're all happy. Well, you know, we weren't happy. We were kind of annoyed because none of us got to eat anything. It's kind of in a bad mood. So everybody that we're traveling with, it's me, Ethan, my mom, my brother, and my uncle. And so we get on the plane, and I was asleep when this happened. I woke up to my mom and Ethan telling me it. So I wake up, and my mom's like, oh, we're on our way back right now. We're going to Phoenix. And I was like, what? And like, I was just so confused because I was like, why are we going to Phoenix? Like, that's not even, if we're gonna land, why don't we just land in LA? And so I guess, what was it that was wrong with it?
Something wrong with like defrost or something like that on the motor.
Yeah, something, one of the motors was frozen. So we had to turn around, and to go to Hawaii, you have to have a lot of fuel, and you can't land a plane with a lot of fuel or something. It has to be like
it's too heavy on the back.
Halfway. So we literally go back to Phoenix and circle around for like 2-3 hours, literally just
3 hours straight just circling. Before we landed in Phoenix, they told us that there was going to be a whole new plane, it was a crew, right?
Yeah, literally.
Whole new crew and all that, and that we were going to have a whole new plane and we were just going to get ready to go to Hawaii. And so we get back, and you want to finish the story? Go ahead.
So we're about to land, and we're sitting in like the row behind the exit seat. So the flight attendant was right there, and the lady was asking her questions that was in front of us. And the lady was like, yeah, so you guys were supposed to get a new plane, but now you're just gonna stay on this plane. And we're like, what? Like, why would they tell us something different? So we land, and we're all kind of confused, like we're all like questioning it. And we land, and they say, okay, so you guys have to exit the plane. Nobody can be on the plane right now. We have to work on it. We have to defrost it.
You're gonna get a mechanic for it or something like that.
Yeah, a mechanic for it. The good part was, though, that when we got off the plane, there was a payway, and payway is really good, so we got to be payway. That was the only good part of the day.
Oh my God.
But we're sitting there literally for hours, and they haven't given us any answers. Like, it was the funniest thing ever. People were literally screaming at people, like, it was crazy.
Oh, there was just like this old guy and one of the flight attendants arguing back and forth. It was hilarious. Like,
it was really funny.
I feel like he was about to throw a punch. It was funny as hell.
It was interesting. So we're just kind of waiting. All this like chaos is going on. So like 4 hours comes, and they tell us that we're gonna start boarding in 30 minutes or something. They said, and 30 minutes goes by. They say, oh, 15 more minutes. And then they said another 30 minutes after that, and then finally we get on the plane, and you know, everybody's happy, we're on the plane again. And then we freaking get up in the sky, and I think it was like 20 minutes or 15 minutes.
No, it was not even it was an hour in, I swear. It was like an hour into.
Yeah, maybe an hour.
It was an hour into the flight. We were already kind of asleep.
Yeah, I was already asleep.
And then they announced, they go, sorry guys, but we had the same exact issue that we had on the last flight.
He says it like this. He's like, I have bad news for you guys, and the whole plane is just like, are you serious? And he goes, so the same problem that happened on the last plane is happening with us. They weren't able to fix it properly. And we're like, okay, so then can they just land us? So they're like, okay, we're going to be landing at LAX, which is literally where we started off
and
in the morning.
A full tank of gas, once again.
Full tank of gas, because we've only been flying around for an hour. So there, once again, we have to circle around for 3 hours.
No, it was like 4 hours.
It was like 4 hours. And we were circling around the Salton Sea, which is like in the desert.
And with the guy that sees you.
Yeah, so we're just sitting there. And my mom was sitting there and she like taps me and she's like, look what's happening. And the guy was like falling out of his seat. So my mom like touched the guy over sitting across from me and she was like, hey, like look at this. And so the guy helped him up. And then like 5 seconds later, like it was the creepiest thing ever. He started having a seizure and literally was puking everywhere. And it was like all over the floor where we were sitting. It was so bad. And like just to explain, like people were having seizures on this flight. Like it was a lot. Like just watching a seizure is like kind of scary. So imagine being stuck on a plane with like somebody throwing up.
And we still had an
everywhere.
hour left to go.
And we still have like an hour and a half to go.
So the whole plane
and it
smelled like throw up.
so bad. Everybody was complaining, all of that. And then we finally land in LA. And the worst part was that they say, okay, so we're gonna provide everybody with hotel rooms. So they provide us with a hotel, and we're at the airport until like 1 a.m. trying to figure out what kind of flight we can get. They're telling us that there's no flights available, but literally his dad had just called and they said, oh, there's a 7 o'clock flight that they can put you on. So they were just lying. They weren't even telling us that we had a flight. And this is American Airlines, which I always thought American was really good. So like
they suck.
I was kind of like, oh, like yeah, never flying with them again. Because to be honest, they should have just put us on a different flight. If there was something wrong with the flight, why would you risk it?
Yeah.
And make us fly on that flight again? Because if anything didn't happen and they didn't know that something was wrong with the flight, like we would have crashed. So I feel like American Airlines seemed to be a little bit more prepared and just more better. But back to what I was saying, we get to our hotel and it's like 2 a.m. The line is so big. I'm literally sitting on the couch and like I couldn't stop crying because I was like sick and like Ethan was like, why are you crying? Like I didn't even know.
At the hotel?
Yeah, I didn't know I was crying. So we waited like 30 minutes at the lobby just to get checked in. And this hotel when we got in was so weird. It didn't even look like a hotel.
It looked like they were doing construction at the bottom, but I don't think they were. I just think they left it like that.
Yeah, and it like didn't even look like a hotel. It was
no
like,
hot water.
Oh yeah,
my
and it
God.
gets worse. We go up to our room, and my mom goes to sleep, but me and Ethan really wanted to take showers, and there was 2 showers. So we're like, okay, we're both gonna take a shower, and then we're gonna go to sleep. We are sitting there for 20 minutes waiting for this water to get hot, and it is freezing cold. So we try to press the call on the phone doesn't work. So then we use our phone to call the hotel to the front desk, and he's like, oh, I'm sorry, we can't do anything about it. And I was like, what do you mean you can't do anything about it? Your water's ice cold. How do you expect people to shower or anything? But their soap was really good, actually.
Yeah, I stole some of the soap.
So me and Ethan are literally sitting there trying to like be mechanics, trying to figure out how to just get the water somewhat warm. And then finally I tell Ethan, I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna go in the cold shower. And also I'm sick, so going in a cold shower made it 10 times worse for me. And I felt way worse this morning. We get out of the shower and Ethan goes, okay, yours is probably warmer now, I'm gonna go in yours. And we still had the other shower on, so I'm like, okay, go ahead, go in mine, it's not warm. He gets in and literally runs out. He was like, I can't do it, it's so cold.
It was so cold.
And so then we got like maybe an hour and a half, 2 hours of sleep last night. Woke up at like 4 a.m.
Really crazy days.
Got an Uber, went to the airport, and yeah, we finally made it to Hawaii. But it really messed up our trip because we had to cancel like 10 things, literally. And it messed up our hotel because we couldn't refund that we missed a night in the hotel, so we like were like lost out on like $1,000 because the hotels here are expensive. So that really sums up our whole story from yesterday. Well, anyways, everything's good now. We're here and we are at the Kailua Ranch, which is where they film like Jurassic Park, Jumanji, King Kong, Day, 50 Days or something. They filmed a lot here and we went on the rafters. We just got done. It's really cold, so I'm like wearing my mom's jacket. But yeah, So finally, we were able to make it, and now everything's fine. But American Airlines, that was amazing. So now we can finally celebrate his birthday, which we came here for. It was a birthday gift to him, and it was sad because Ethan was so sad at the airport. He was so mad. He was like, my birthday's ruined. I can't even go to Hawaii anymore. I was like, Ethan, just chill out. Like, it's fine. We're gonna get to Hawaii, okay? Like, he's literally having like a mental breakdown. It was really sad. But yeah, that concludes this video. We just wanted to really like tell you guys about it. It was a really interesting time. So yeah, thanks for watching. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and comment